Hello, this is Larry at LarryRicker.com, and in this video I'm going to show how to do a simple continuity test on an electrical circuit. This is probably not suitable for anything complicated, but the situation here is that I have a room that is roughed out and it doesn't have electrical hooked up, and I have a bunch of wires hanging by my circuit breaker, or my breaker box, and I need to sort out which wire is connected to these electrical outlets. So if you like this video, click on the like button below, subscribe to my channel, and check out my apps in the Apple App Store. They include Project Organizer, Project Organizer Pro, Job Hunt, Job Hunt Pro, Student Organizer Pro, Class Organizer, and Class Organizer Pro, as well as Opportunity Organizer and Opportunity Organizer Pro. Okay, so here I have an electrical box, and you shouldn't touch the wires because you don't know if they're hot. So for the test, I have two multimeters. Well, this is just a voltmeter. It's a simple voltmeter, and if I connect this to an electrical outlet, if I stick it in an electrical outlet, I have a black prong and a red prong. If I put those in an electrical outlet, it'll show that there's electricity flowing through that outlet. And I'm going to use that to verify that there's no electricity on these circuits before I conduct any further tests. So you just touch the white wire and the black wire, and if it doesn't buzz and light up, then you're safe. I also went to the other end of the wires and I checked each one of the wires there. There were 3 wires hanging, and I made sure that there was no electricity on those wires as well. And I'll check these other, the white and black here, to make sure there's no electricity on those, and they're safe as well. I also have a multimeter here, and this multimeter, I just simply turn it to the 720. That's 200. I go back to 720 or 750. That's AC section of this voltmeter, and I can conduct the same test with this multimeter. And I just take the red prong and attach it to the black wire, and I connect the white wire to the actually you can go either way, white wire to the black or the red to the black, and or vice versa, the red to the white and the black to the black. But it still registers 00 on both of these wires, as well as the second set of wires here. So now I need to figure out which wire on the other end by the breaker box is connected to this wire. And for that, I'm going to turn my multimeter to the continuity test. And that's down here at the bottom. And I can touch these 2 wires together and hear a tone. That means that this multimeter is able to send electricity through that circuit and make continuity. But since I don't have a multimeter that goes connects to one end and connect to the other, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to take this wire and I'll straighten it out. Okay, I had to grab a needle nose pliers to straighten these wires out. My fingers weren't strong enough. So you just sort out the wires, separate them, and then just grab the needle nose pliers and just give them a twist, and they'll straighten out easily with the needle nose pliers. Then I'll grab my wire nut, 2 straight wires, the black and the white, and put the wire nut on those, like so. Now you're not going to leave it like this. As soon as the test is complete, you're going to disconnect this and put separate wire nuts on each of these nuts until you hook it up to install the GFCI or the outlet, which you're going to put on. Okay, now I'm at my breaker box, and I've got a situation here where I've got 3 wires hanging down. The house was pre-wired, and I don't know which of these wires is the correct wire to connect to my outlet and to my light. And I don't even know what the 3rd wire is actually for at this point. So what I do is I've crossed one of the wires in the other room, and then I grab my multimeter and I turn it to the continuity test. Again, if I touch the two wires together, it'll make a circuit, and then I'll touch the tips of each one of these wires and find the wire that has continuity. Okay, so I take my multimeter. If I touch the two wires together, it makes a tone. So then I go up to each of the wires one at a time, and I'll touch the two wires on each of these. So I put the black on the black wire and the red on the white, or vice versa, to conduct the continuity test. Being careful not to touch them together. So that shows that this is the wire that I spliced together, and then I just break off a piece of tape and label it accordingly. That's how you do a continuity test. Last step is to disconnect that wire nut, because you never want to short circuit your wires. So for the final step, what I'll do is I'll disconnect this wire nut. I've tested continuity, and I could put a separate wire nut on each of these, but instead what I'm going to do is install a GFCI here and hook the brass screw to the black wire, and the other brass screw to the other black wire, and the silver screw to the white wire, and the other silver screw to this white wire, and hook the two ground wires to the green screw. Okay, so the set of wires that I did the continuity test on are this set here, and they are the line side. So I have to look at the back of the GFCI and connect the ones for the continuity test to the line side, and then the ones that go to the other 6 outlets are the load side, and then I just connect them black to brass, white to the common to the silver, and white to the silver. And then on the other side we have the line, common, white, coming, the one we did for the continuity test. Put that on the line side, and the markings are on the back of the GFCI. And now the other 6 outlets are connected to the load side. Again, brass to black, common white to silver. And then I wrap the whole thing in electrical tape for. This is optional, not everybody does this. Then you kind of flex the copper and work it back into the box. And then secure it to the box. And then we'll conduct a test, pressing the test and then the reset when it's wired to the breaker box.